It's a sight that no longer surprises many Melburnians. A destroyed shopfront, one of the latest tobacco stores to go up in flames.
We had 193 tobacco arsons. We've had 6 homicides attributed directly to the tobacco.
Authorities at every level have been responding to the illicit tobacco trade with increasingly aggressive enforcement.
We are seeing more seizures, more arrests, more store closures. We are seeing more confiscation of assets. This is record activity that our frontline services are doing.
Is it having the desired effect in terms of denting the illicit tobacco market? It's probably not.
At a recent forum discussing black markets with independent grocers, the head of the Victorian Arson Squad made this frank admission: the fight against illegal tobacco is falling short.
We've made over 500 arrests for the tobacco arsons, but I've got to be honest with you, I'm not sure that it's made a difference, which is sad. So it's not through lack of trying.
Michael Outram led Border Force for 7 years before his departure in 2024. He now works as a consultant for border security and technology companies. In his time as commissioner, he saw the black market explode.
So it's really changed, and the dollars involved are staggering. Profits involved are staggering.
The black market is now proliferating online. There are literally dozens of websites that are promoting cheap tobacco and vapes, offering express delivery through Australia Post across the country.
Well, it's just taken it from bricks to clicks, really. It's moved all of this illegal activity online. You've got bikie gangs, terrorist organisations that are benefiting from the proceeds of these crimes.
730 made a purchase this week via a bank transfer. A few days later, a carton of 10 packets bought for less than a third of the price of highly taxed legal cigarettes turned up to our office.
At the moment, data shows us that there's not a significant amount of trade there. It is still accessing purchasing through shopfronts. But as shopfronts close, we need to make sure that we are taking down websites so that the trade cannot proliferate there.
Nowhere in the country has the violent competition for control of the illicit market played out so starkly than in Victoria. Earlier this year, the state government established a licensing and enforcement scheme for tobacco retailers, but proposed shop closure laws are yet to pass Parliament. In the past 2 years, 730 has visited numerous stores in Melbourne, which are among the thousands across Australia that are openly selling illicit tobacco and vapes. I first visited this store here in Frankston back in 2024. And in 2025, in the city's north, some were even raided in Chapel Street, while others openly advertised at Bentley. The signage might have changed slightly at this store, but I can confirm illicit tobacco is still for sale across the counter. Over the last week, I've been to all of those same stores here in Melbourne. None of them have a tobacco licence here in Victoria. All of them are still selling black market products.
We do need to see more store closures. We need to see more consequences and penalties.
The firebombings of tobacco stores haven't stopped. Last month in regional Victoria, this one was ram-raided and set alight.
So it's just up here.
Are you surprised these sort of so-called tobacco wars or these crimes have come to Warragul?
Look, I think it's something that every regional town is grappling with. It's been a terrible ordeal for the businesses either side of this shop who have got nothing to do with this.
The extent of the challenge facing authorities is reflected in recent government data. In 2025, 80% of all nicotine consumed, that's cigarettes and vapes, came from illicit sources. And since 2017, nicotine consumption increased by almost 40%. Are you winning this battle right now?
I think there is a lot of factors at play here. Serious and organised crime is exploiting a commodity that is cheap for them to get and highly addictive.
Amber Shuita is the federal government's illicit tobacco and e-cigarette commissioner.
My job is to coordinate a national approach so that we are tackling this from all angles.
What evidence can you point to that shows that the market itself is being impacted or shrinking?
So the market dominates the Australian tobacco trade. This is a sizable issue. We are looking at this from every angle. This will take time and a coordinated approach to see progress.
In the 2024-2025 financial year, the ABF seized more than 2.1 kilotons of illicit tobacco and more than 6 million illicit vapes at the border.
If I was to buy 10 million cigarettes, cheap whites in Asia, I could probably buy them, import them in a container into Australia for about $250,000. And that container would translate to about $7.5 million on the street.
Mr. Outram estimates the ABF is only X-ray screening around 1% of all shipping containers arriving on our shores.
That we have to seriously think about how we invest in the digital technologies at our border to give us visibility of the goods and the things that are moving across our borders.
The ABF has been doing a substantial amount in the last 12 months to increase seizures and detections at the border. If you scanned absolutely everything that came through the Australian border, it would stop the economy. It would reduce productivity. The ABF is doing a realistic job in terms of targeting where there is risk so that they get the biggest impact.
MP Mary Aldred sees excise as a key issue in the war against illegal tobacco. She is helping formulate the Coalition's policy on tobacco and says the federal excise needs to be cut.
They're not prepared to, I don't think, have an honest conversation about the role that the high excise is having in driving this black market.
Recently, New South Wales's Labor Premier Chris Minns also agreed.
In my view, it's just too high.
I've said a number of times, excise is one part of the issue. There are economic drivers mainly around profit margins for serious and organised crime, and profit margins are about cheap supply, being able to have competitive market dominance.
Although Michael Outram believes enforcement alone won't address the illicit tobacco problem, for him, cutting the excise won't either.
We could end up in a situation where we have incredibly cheap nicotine products in Australia, and we're going to create a massive health problem for the future that's going to cost billions to sort out in terms of our health services.